I must say...
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Have you divined aught of the false sovereign, your Majesty? This appears to be a bill calling for the arrest of a man named Dara. But hold a moment. Does this man's countenance not bear an uncanny resemblance to the... I see. If your Majesty is certain that the two are one and the same. Ah, but of course. I surmise your Majesty intends to post the bill and invite a clever plan. The Queen Regent will be forced to deny any connection to our new sovereign. Furthermore, 'twill serve as an attestation to Dara's existence, which shall remain an undeniable truth till the man resurfaces. And all the while, the doubts lurking in the hearts of the citizenry will continue to deepen. A clever ploy indeed. I shall attend to this matter personally. I have no doubt that this bill will prove its worth in due course. You have my gratitude, your Majesty.
So, the false sovereign operates at the behest of Queen Regent Disa. This spider has woven her web rather carefully. Here at last!
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty. Aught shall change once we have attended the coronation. If your Majesty has any unfinished business to attend to, very well. The coronation is to take place on the morrow. We shall depart early in the morn, so your Majesty will do well to get a good night's rest.
Master, pray leave this place. My body, it refuses to obey me. There is a voice within my mind. It commands me, sways my very will.
Sways your will? Could it be that the gods sway? We must quit this place, your Majesty. I fear our plans may fall to naught. Let us return to the tavern. We've been had. The false sovereign commanded the pawns at the coronation, proving his own power as arisen. According to Regent King Sven, the pretender was wearing some sort of lavish necklace at the time. I imagine this artifact is the godsway mentioned in that letter. Perchance 'tis a tool that grants power akin to that of the true arisen. 'Twould do much to explain the events that we have beheld afore now. Alas, unless we find some way to unmake this godsway's power, proving your Majesty's legitimacy shall be difficult indeed. Pray, allow me time to search for a way forward. I shall inform your Majesty when I have prepared a plan of action.
Never could I have imagined such an outcome. What manner of artifact is this godsway? I suppose 'tis pointless to ponder. Let us await the results of Captain Brandt's investigation.
You have my support.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Regarding the matter of the godsway, I fear there is naught to be done, save for your Majesty to venture to Batal. The sigil upon that letter from some days past bore the crest of the Batali Palace. Surely yet official dealings twixt Batal and Vermund are suspended. Passing through their fortress will prove a difficult task. With such hindrances in mind, I thought to prepare this. Few may pass through Batal's fortress, save Beastren merchants. With some coin, I was able to convince one such merchant to grant us that entry permit. It ought guaranteed passage through the border checkpoint. But alas, you shall have to act the part. But as to how that should be done, I'm ashamed to say I do not know.
Displaying bowmanship for an elf? My hand would tremble on the string if 'twere me. But I expect you'll do just fine. Welcome.
You the Arisen? I've been looking for you. Sven wants to meet with you. Says he'll be waiting in his quarters.
Could you come over here?
Beg pardon, sir. Captain Brandt bade me ask aught of you. However, it is a matter best kept from prying ears. Firstly, pray, take this. 'Tis a regalia sword. 'Tis my duty to guard it. Yet, I have stolen it from the masquerade. A duplicate now rests in its place. And I must beg you, generations of Amundian rulers have wielded it. Though not in battle, of course. Yet, Disa's disdain for tradition. Captain Brandt is of a mind to restore it, so that it might serve indeed. When the time comes for you to announce your ascension, having this sword at your hip would doubtless elevate your standing in the eyes of the people. And I must confess, having watched over the blade for many a year, I've grown rather fond of it. I should be well glad to see it restored to its former splendor by your hand. My hopes for our kingdom and its treasure go with you, Sir Arisen.
I heard from Captain Brandt that you plan to make for Batal in order to continue your investigation. As for me, I've been looking into my mother's movements since last we met, and 'tis a letter she discarded, only half written. It seems to be addressed to someone called Phaesus. I passed an eye over it, though I failed to grasp its meaning. Here, I thought it best that you have it. And if you do, would you be so kind as to share it with me? That is, only if you've the time to spare. I am in no position to make demands, of course. Glad I am to see you well. No progress as yet, then.
Our road was a long one, but here we are at last.
What is it? Have you brought me something to sate my unquenchable thirst for knowledge? A book? No, a letter, is it? Let's see here. But know that tonight the moon shall again be shrouded in a veil of gossamer clouds. Well, well. I'd not thought Disa the capacity for such refinement. 'Tis a love letter of a sort. One that draws on ancient symbolism to convey its message. The moon represents a woman, the sun, a man. Put simply, what this letter means to communicate is, I miss you. Ha! A surprisingly saccharine sentiment coming from the Queen Regent. Would you not agree? I know not who this Phaesus is, though 'tis safe to say that Disa is rather invested in him. What concerns me is this godsway mentioned in the first line. If we can take this letter at its word, and 'twas indeed granted to the Queen Regent, we can surmise that it must be something tangible, an object. As to what manner of object, however, I can only begin to guess. and I'm not one for pointless conjecture.
I thought you might like this, so I picked it up. Here you go.
I must confess I'd not thought Disa capable, yet I'm far more intrigued by this godsway. 'Tis rare enough that I encounter a word.
Sir Augustine is to return to Vermund. Mayhap I ought pretend I ne'er heard that. He and my mother are politically opposed, you see. A fact for which he was effectively exiled. If you mean to escort him, you'd best be cautious, friend. Though I cannot be sure how 'twill aid us, and should you learn something... would... Truly? Then my mother and this man are... My thanks for looking into this. Alas, I had hoped 'twould be of greater use to our cause.
What business have you here? Does that make you the Arisen? Be at ease. I bear you no ill will. My name is Manella, and I have the honor of serving as a go-between twixt... Come, let me buy you a drink. We've much to discuss.
Follow me. So we've finally arrived. I thought we'd never make it.
The people of Batal view pawns with great prejudice. They're even forbidden from setting foot in the capital. Her Majesty, Empress Nadinia, has long been troubled by this custom, but a practice so ancient isn't easily overturned. Many are unhappy about the existence of this tavern, even though it lies outside the capital, simply because it was established as a place for pawns to gather. I know not what manner of person you are, but if you would aid me in my efforts to make the people of Batal more accepting of pawns, I would be glad to offer you a residence permit. 'Tis a bargain more than fair, for those who hold such permits may remain in Batal without having their activities questioned. What's glad I am to hear it. Take this, then. Simply show it to one of the sentries, and you'll be granted entry to the capital. Oh, and if you encounter any troubled Batali along the way, they are harsh in their persecution of the pawns, but were they to be aided by the targets of their ire, a simple plan I know, but 'tis the only one available, or so it seems to me. I bid you good fortune, Sir Arisen.
Fancy a look at my wares? I'll gut in myself. I will. I've clean forgotten.
All knowledge of this, God's way, stems from the forbidden magic research laboratory, which can be found here in Batal. However, you would do well to first travel to the Alta Batal coast and seek a man named Ambrosius. For as a researcher of this laboratory, he will doubtless be able to answer many of your questions.
Our road was a long one, but
Who are you? No, never mind, 'tis of little import. I'm searching for blue crystal shards. Find any, and I'll pay you handsomely.
Our traits mesh well together. Each of us is suited to a different task.
Capable comrades are a boon indeed.
here at last. Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
Well, have you found any blue crystal shards? Is that all? Tiny fragments such as these aren't nearly good enough. Still, I expect I'll find a use for them. Here, take your coin and be gone. 'Tis a god's sway. Well, to be precise, the crystalline substance from which 'tis made. By refining such crystals, anyone can attain the power of the Arisen. However, small fragments are meaningless. They cannot contend with the Arisen's power. Speaking of which, should you find any large fragments, bring them to me, won't you? Though that might be difficult, we've scoured this area quite thoroughly. 'Tis possible larger shards may have been mistaken for jewels and carried off by scavengers, or mayhap one such as the Oracle or the Dragon Forged would be able to aid you in locating them. I can tell you no more than that.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use curatives is my specialty. We're here.
Since times of eld, dragon blood has been used. Remember, draconic blood flows through the veins of lesser drakes as well. You may be pitted against the dragon, yet its fate is yours to share. The Godsway. Forgive me, but I've ne'er heard of such a thing. However, some years past, a sorcerer of Batal came to me seeking knowledge of the dragon, just as ye have. It appeared his intent was to alter the will of the world through mortal means. Perhaps there is some connection. Then go. But visit me again when ye have spilled draconic blood. Since times of eld, dragon blood has been used to refine all. Remember, draconic blood flows through the veins of lesser drakes as well. Bring me what ye reap, and I shall harness it to your benefit. Then I bid ye farewell. Oft I forget the swiftness of time.
All ready, are we? I grant you lightning's fang.
I knew you would come, Arisen One. You seek answers, and you shall have them, if 'tis within my power to know them. Loath as I am to admit it, I know little of the artifact of which you speak. I sense a land soaked in warmth. A warmth akin to your own, Arisen, to that of the power of the life you possess. Yet it now lies many fathoms below the surface of the sea. Though 'tis strange, for I sense also that this warmth grows. 'Twould seem a path will be open to you in time, allowing you to venture into the heart of this warmth, so like your own. Perhaps he who was dragon forged can tell you more. Seek him out in Harv village, if you would learn from him.
Aught fell from the beast as it breathed its last.
If he who was dragon forged is to be found in Harv village, mayhap we ought to go there and find him. I know the way. Follow me. Follow me if you would. I know.
About time you came along. I've a special tale to share with you today. Or so I'd like to say, but it is getting rather late. Best spend the night. We can talk again. Ah, good. You're awake. Look to the sea, my friend. Hard to resist setting out in one's boat with fair skies like these, eh?
Now, I've told you about the sunken temple in the middle of the sea, haven't I? I'm quite sure I mentioned it. But I ne'er spoke of the man who resides there. He was such a worthy ruler in life that his armies safeguard him even in death, as he himself would have it. He was once entrusted with the task of watching over this world from the heavens above. Yet he tired of his duty and abandoned his perch in the sky in favor of founding a small kingdom on the ground. Alas, though he was a just and goodly ruler, there is not a single person alive who remembers his name. Oh, it sounds unfortunate, but if you ask me, 'tis all a matter of perspective. It can be a blessing to forget. And I should know. In all my long years, I've never forgotten a single thing. I remember everything. Every little detail. Would that I could forget some of it. A lie it may seem, but a lie it is not. I speak only the truth, as you well know. Come see me again if it pleases you. I've tales aplenty to share.
Heavens fend. I'd ne'er seen the like. I'd not known there were ruins in the depths of this cavern till the path appeared. 'Twas magic, methinks. I should have liked to investigate, if the place hadn't been crawling with monsters. I'll be needing sturdier arms than these afore I head back in there, I fear. At any rate, I'd best report this discovery to my commander. I only pray naught grave shall come of it.
Yon structure upon the sea bears an aura akin to that of the Arisen in some inexplicable way.
Curiously, it does not seem to be of mortal make. It seems aught has occurred within the depths of Stormwind Cave. But what? Wonder.
I'm not sure what to tell you.
I thought you might like this, so I picked it up. Here you go.
A cave. Shall we proceed into the depths?
What I wouldn't give for a map. Particularly one that could tell us where all the treasure lies.
Of course.
Battle is upon us. Here, strike with lightning on your side. I shan't let them harm you.
Is there any way to climb up? I'm not sure what we'll find, but it might be something useful.
Methinks I can make it over there. Might I be of assistance?
Aught has changed since last we came. I hope this does not bode ill.
I cannot fault your memory. We must get to the bottom of this. If we are to break it, it shan't be from this side.
True enough.
Ranged attackers. They are the foes we ought to fell first if we can.
No quarrel here.
I grant you lightning's fangs. A fitting reward for a rigorous search.
So, another comes seeking to inter me. Yet your wicked schemes will avail you not, watching one. Time and again have you sent unto me your minions. Yet why do you not draw your blade? This You seek not my death. Then you are not of the Watching One. I am Rothas, founder of the Kingdom of Vermund. And you appear to be arisen. Tell me your reason for coming here. God's sway. Speak you of those trinkets conjured by the wizards of Batal. E'en from these depths I have beheld the Batali scuttling about, gathering their fragments. 'Tis a baleful, maddening act to transmute the fractured souls of Arisen into such frivolous baubles. Aye, that which you seek is a soul much like yours. Yet rarely will you find one intact, for splinters are all that remain of those pitiful. The flesh may rot, the soul fragment, and 'twould seem the Batali seek to augment this power through their perverted arts. Though to what yet 'tis folly, the frolicking of children. Such a trinket could ne'er hope to fell the dragon, let alone the Watching One. I know little of your intent, but I sense in you a powerful will. A will that urges you towards fulfillment of some great feat. I shall grant you this blade. It too is the soul of an Arisen. Mine own, in fact. Refined in purest dragon blood. Alas, the ages have taken their toll. 'Tis as withered as mine own flesh. Yet, mayhap, the Batali's profane magics would be capable of drawing forth its latent potency. If that is what you seek, Arisen, then go unto their stronghold. I believe 'tis there you shall find the means to achieve it.
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
That looks like a mechanism to me. Ought we to activate it or let it be? The choice is yours, Arisen.
We pawns will be ready to respond, whatever the outcome.
would seem I've taken on too much. If you feel overburdened, mayhap I could carry some things for you. Would you mind coming over here? We're here, Master.
If e'er you stumble across...
If 'tis a blacksmith you need, I go ho! 'Tis a regalia sword you want restored, is it? That's a first. Now here's a masterwork of craftsmanship if I e'er saw one. Not to blow my own horn, but I wager I'm the only blacksmith who could set this ailing steel to rights. But, as I've said, I've lain down my tools, and before you start begging, know that I don't intend to pick 'em back up. Well, why are you still standing there? Leave an old man in peace.
That went rather poorly, I fear. What are we to do now?
You'll have to forgive him. He's been in a foul mood ever since we got cut off from the fuel for our forge. Though, he's always been a bit crotchety, come to think of it.
Enough cheek, you wool-brained wastrel. Now, I'm off to the tavern. Can I count on you to mind things here while I'm gone?
Of course you can. You go enjoy yourself. Psst. Hang about, eh? When he's gone, you and I can talk.
Oh, there's something written here.
Shall we take a closer look?
'Twas special made to use glimmer coal, mined from a nearby cavern. Till the monsters settled in, that is. Neither of us can go anywhere near the place now. Listen, Brocker's too proud to ask for help, but I'm not. Would you be willing to go out to the cavern and mine us up some glimmer coal? Should you succeed, I reckon he'll change his mind about restoring that blade of yours. Now, true to its name, glimmer coal emits a pale light, so you'll want to cast your eyes about for any glowing spots when you get to the cavern. Oh, suppose you'll be needing the name of the place. Digger's Ruins 'tis called.
If we can procure some glimmer coal from Digger's Ruins, Sir Brocker ought to have a change of heart about the regalia sword. Then follow me. I'll lead the way.
Well, now, isn't this lucky? Someone who knows the way.
This ought to suffice. Unless you'd rather mine for more, Master.
I knew it to be so.
You're back. Have you any glimmer coal for me? Look at it all. This'll last us a good while. You've my gratitude. Brocker, we've got more glimmer coal. Now we can reignite the forge.
'Tisn't the forge what needs igniting, girl, but your fool ears. I've told you my smithing days ended when those monsters moved in. I've no use for glimmer coal anymore. I'm done, understand? I'll not hear another word about that rusted hunk of steel. If you're so keen to have it repaired, then see to it yourself.
Oh, I was certain he'd pick up his tools again if we only had more glimmer coal. My apologies for putting you to all that trouble, sir, but mayhap your efforts needn't go to waste. The way I see it, if old Brocker's the only smith with the skill to see it done, then I'm your best hope, being as I'm his apprentice and all. Well, what say you? I'm grateful for your trust, sir. You'll soon see your faith was well placed. Mayhap not soon as 'twere. I fear I'm a novice in the truest sense. But I'll see it done all the same. You have my word. Mark me. This blade will be shining like a star by the time I'm finished with it.
Sir Sarah is apprenticed to the legendary dwarven blacksmith. There's no doubt in my mind that she will succeed.
Methinks
I'm grateful for your trust, sir. Mayhap not soon as 'twere.